hard. All right. So, all right. All right. We're going to write the slope of a line that is parallel to that one. So you got 4, okay? Now these two are really easy because the slope would be exactly the same. So it would be 7/4. And the slope would be exactly the same. So it would be -3. That's it. That's all you need to do, okay? On the next one, we need to work a little harder because we got to solve for y before we know what the slope is, right? So in here, all I needed to do was 5x. Very good. So I'm going to write the equation. A lot of you can do this in your head. You can. 5x plus 12, which means the slope is going to be 5. And then in here, it was minus 4x, right? So 7y equals minus 4x plus 21, and then I got to divide by 7, which means the slope, and I'm going to stop. I don't need to do anything but the slope, and I need it to be -4. That was it, okay? Now, on this one, I can't just watch, right, because it's not the same. I'm actually going to have to do the reciprocal area cheat sheet right on my side. The cheat sheets that I gave you yesterday. If you were not here yesterday, you need one. Alright, as a me. Okay, so what would be the slope of a line that's perpendicular to that first one? 4/5, and it would be positive. Very good. Okay, what about this one?
1/6.
-1/6. Don't forget the negative, okay? Don't forget the negative. All right, and here I got to solve for y before I can decide if what the slope is, right? So minus 2x. So y, 5y equals minus 2x plus 40. Then I'm going to divide by 5. And really, I don't need to do the y-intercept. I don't need to worry about the y-intercept, right? Now let's flip it and opposite of that. So 5/2. All right, so minus 8x. So -3y equals -8x plus 15. And in reality, I'm working too hard. I don't need to say plus 15, right? Divided by -3. So that slope would be 8/3. Now, the perpendicular line, what's the slope? -3/8. -3. You see it? Remember, whatever is in front of it, right? That's the sum. Now, if it doesn't have anything, then it will be a problem. Alrighty? Okay, for those people that were not here yesterday because of the cheat sheet, this is your new cheat sheet. You can actually, you keep the other one just in case, but I'm going to do it. Go to the back of it, because I'm going to show you a few things over there that you might want to circle. Go to the back. Go with the lines that are parallel. Do you see the picture with the lines that are parallel?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead and circle the slopes because they're the same. So that note that we know the lines of slope need to be the same. So circle the two. On the perpendicular line, go ahead and circle the two slopes which are -3/2 and +2/3. Go ahead and circle those on your cheat sheet so that you know that visual aid is going to help you out. So that you know that parallel lines, the slopes are the same. Perpendicular, the slopes are opposite and reciprocal. Oh my God. All right, let's go to what we were doing yesterday. Because we did the parallels, but we didn't do the perpendicular, right? So let's do a few perpendiculars because I really want to do an activity. All right, so this right here, it was on page 34. If you were not here, you should have the worksheet because I personally went through all the rooms and gave you the worksheet. I did, because then we can now blame anybody. Oh, the designer didn't give it to me. When I was you may have to take the floor for this or It's page 34, punchline 7.19. It should be glued on page 34. Alright, so let's go ahead and try to do. Okay, so perpendicular. It needs to be perpendicular. Start highlighting or circling or something. You guys are not using those highlighters the way that I want you to use. So let's pick up a highlighter. Let's go. And contains the given point. Write an equation for the line that is perpendicular to the given line and contains the given point. And exercise through 7 through 8. Write the answer in point slope form. Point slope. Point slope. Okay, what the boys are having is the actual reference sheet that you will be using. Go ahead and do this. So in order to come up with a line that is on point slope form, I know, I'm a lawyer and I'm going to my coding. Point slope form. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to look on my yellow paper what that form is. And I believe it's y minus y1 equals m x minus x1. So I need a point, which would be my y1 and my x1, and I also need my slope. All right, so let's go to the first one. Do you have your slope? Yes. Yes, I do. But it's a line that's perpendicular to that one. That's my slope, highlighting. But it's a line that's perpendicular to that. So what would be my slope for the line that I want to create? 2. Thank you. 2. Because you flip it, which would be 2 over 1, and it's the opposite, and instead of negative, it's going to be positive. So now I got my m. What is my x? -4. And what is my y? +7. Now I can come over here and plug in. Okay? Because that's all I need. I need a point, and I need a slope. Are we good? All right, so let's go ahead and plug in. Y -7 equals 2 parentheses x plus 4. Because that negative and that negative makes it a positive. Okay, and we're done, and it should be somewhere over there. There it is. So that one with that one. Okay? All right, I'm going to do the second one. So I need a slope. That's my first one. I need a slope and a point. I already have the point, but I don't have the slope for number 8. But we can figure it out, right? Because we can solve for y and figure out what the slope is. So let's do that. 8x minus 3y equals 12. Let's solve for y, so that we know what the slope is. The slope is always a number that's the coefficient of the x. What this coefficient is. What do I mean by coefficient? The number that's adjacent to that x. Very good. Great use of vocabulary. So I'm going to say minus 8x minus 8x. And you get that negative 3y equals negative 8x plus 12. Okay? And now I'm going to divide by negative 3. And I really don't have to do it over here. I just want the slope, right? So forget about the y-intercept. You just want the slope. So my slope over here is this guy over here, which is a positive 8/3. Are you with me? Yes. But the line that's perpendicular to it does not have that slope. It's the opposite and it's reciprocal. So instead of a positive, it's going to be a negative 8/3. That's what goes there. Okay? Yes, one. Hold on. you guys are looking at me like I'm crazy. I was like, okay, they're not getting it. They're looking at me like I'm insane. Okay, now we good, good, good. Okay, what did you say? I don't want to know. Okay, let me just not ask that question. All right. So what's my x? What's my y? Negative 1. So it would be y plus 1. Thank you so much. Then plug in your slope. Negative 3/8. And then what's my x? 6. So x minus 6. So that one goes with which one? Uh-oh. Oh, there it is. The first one. This is the first one. Okay. And move it down. Or hold on for a second. Babies, may I? Okay. Okay, now this one is again perpendicular, but is slope intercept form. So y equals mx plus b. So this one is a little harder because we need the m and we also need the b. Okay? So this one is a little harder because this is what I want. It's just like yesterday, but this guy, in this case, it would be perpendicular instead of parallel. Okay? All right, so I need m and I need b. I don't have any of them. Okay, so I'm going to start with the first one. 2x plus equals 10. So how can I figure out the m? Solve for y, which would be to take away 2x. That's 0. And do I really need to bother with that plus 10? No, I really don't. We need to just stop writing them because we really don't need them for anything. Because all I'm doing is to get my m. And then I'm going to have to divide by 5. By 5, right? So that slope ends up being negative 2/5. But that is not the slope that I want. It's 5 over 2. There you go. So I'm gonna take my little positive. I'm gonna take my little oh my god, I can't talk today. My question mark, and I'm gonna substitute it by 5 over 2. Right? Opposite would be positive. Flip it, 5 at the top, 2 at the bottom. Are we good? All right. Now I solve for b with my point. Very good. Okay, what's my y? 9. My m is 5/2. It's a lot of work, guys, but it's not hard if you know what you're looking for. I said it yesterday, too. What's my x? 4. Can somebody do that in the calculator and figure out how much is that? I think it's 10. But double check for me. Is it 10? It's 10. Okay, then some of you can do this really quick without a calculator, but some of you still need to work with a calculator. Thank God that test is with a calculator. All right, so what is b? Negative 1? Okay. Okay, so now I'm going to take away my question mark. And that's going to be negative 1. And now I got everything that I need for my equation. And I actually don't even have to write it, but you should see it over there real quick. You see it? And there's only one with a negative 1. So let's go ahead and highlight it. It's that one and that one, right? You want to color code them, you can. Is it good? May I erase the left one button so there has space for the other one? Yeah. All right, thank you, baby. Okay, we need to stop at 9 o'clock so that we get our activity. Okay, so remember, I need an M and a B. I don't have them yet. To a line that's perpendicular to that one and goes through negative 3n, sure. Okay, that's fine. I still can solve for y, right? But before I solve for y, I need my invisible one. Why do I call it an invisible one? It's just one y, right? But when I divide to get my slope, that negative 1 is going to make a difference. All right? So I'm going to say minus 6x. And then plus, thank you, Sammy. Plus 5. You with me? All right, that's 0. That's 0. The only thing that survives is negative 1y. And on the other side, minus 6x plus. And I really, that plus 5, why do I keep writing it? I don't know, because I'm all about working smarter, not harder. And I'm working way too hard. I don't need that. I just need to slope, right? Then I'm going to divide by negative 1. So what's the slope of this one? Positive 6. Right? But then I got to put it over 1. And then I got to flip it. And then it's in the very good. So negative 1? Negative 1, 6. All right. We're good. I like it so. Thank you so much. There's only one negative. This is what you do in the test. See how he did? He's like, there's only one negative 1, 6. Let's stop this because I don't need to work that hard. We got it. And my test will actually be like that too, okay, guys? You don't have to, most of the times, just like the real one, you probably will be able to eliminate a whole lot, just like the one, okay? Okay, may I scroll down? Yeah. Alright, standard form. Look at your cheat sheet and tell me what the standard form is. Now this is the hardest one. And Miss Marie's least favorite because you have to work so much for it, right? It is what it is. That's why you're gonna have to do one. Alright, so perpendicular to that line. You don't know. Before I change it to standard form, I first have to have it here. Okay? So that then I can put the x's and the y's together. Are you with me? This is why this is the hardest one. Because I first got to find the m, then I got to find the b, then I got to plug it in, then I got to move it to that. You do the points? Oh, show us how you did it, because I would love to do it. Okay, you still figure out the slope, right? Or no? Because you got to figure out the slope of number 11, because it's perpendicular to that one. Okay? So let's see. 4x plus 3y equals, it's not that line, it's a line that's perpendicular to that one. Okay? So you got to be careful, because it's not asking you for that line. It's asking you for a line that's perpendicular to that. So I don't know the slope yet. So I need to solve for y so that I can figure out my slope. Okay? So let's see, minus 4x. And I'm not going to worry about the 24, right? Why not? We don't need it. It's your y-intercept, I don't need it. So that would be 3y equals negative 4x, and I divide by 3. So this slope is negative 4 thirds, right? No, I'm sorry. This slope is negative, did I do something wrong? So this slope is negative 4 thirds, right? But the slope of the line that I want is perpendicular to that. 3 over? Are we good? Okay? Alright, so I'm going to go to that one. Is this where you do something different? Okay. So, if you do something different, that's quicker, please show us. Okay, so let's go ahead and I already got my slope. I'm gonna erase this because I do all that so that I can get the slope that's perpendicular to that one. Now I have an x and a y. Oh, what intercept is that one? The x-intercept or the y-intercept? Because your y equals? Thank you. That's your x-intercept. Thank you so much. Very good. That would be -5 and your y would be 0. So I'm going to plug in them over there. Y is 0. M is 3/4. X is -5 plus 3. With me? Okay, when you do that in the calculator, it's going to give you a decimal, but I don't want it as a decimal, right? Because that's not an integer. So I believe it's -15/4 plus b equals 0. And then I got to move that to the other side or say plus 15/4, right? So what's my b?
I have to put it in by
Now I have my m. And I have my b. Now I plug it in over there and then I change it to standard. See, this is why I don't like it. This is
You have to divide. Or you multiply.
I have to multiply because I cannot have any dancing numbers. Very good. So let's plug in it first. Y equals 3/4 x plus 15/4. This is how I know that it's correct. 99% of the time they will have the same denominator. Okay?
Unless it's simplified, then 7 hours.
Okay, so I cannot have that dangling 4. You can change the x first and then multiply. It's really not a big deal. What's 4 times y? Or y? What is 3/4 times 4? Remember, you don't even think about it. The denominators go by bound. It's just the numerator, right? And then 4 times 15. Now the only other thing that I need to do. All right, so minus 3x plus 4y equals 15. And that's the standard.
See, it's just a lot of work. It's not hard work. It's a lot confusing. So it's very tedious.
Okay? Are you guys good? Yeah? Let's see if we can do the other one in the next 9 minutes so that we can then start our activity. May I erase or are you guys still copying? We're still copying? May I erase, babies? Alright, so let's do the next one. 2x minus 7y plus 21 equals 0. Explain in a minute.
Jane, what's the first step? Very good.
Don't even think about it, you gotta find the source. How do we do that? Give me a name, everybody. Yesenia, how do we do that? Thank you. That's correct. Good job. You got it. Don't doubt yourself, baby. And then say that again, Sammy. Okay, by 21 because the 21 is also with that. Now, do I really need to do the 21?
No,
No, you really don't have to because I don't need to, right? So it was awesome that he was able to see that, but you really don't need to because I only want the slope, right? So then we would be -7y, -2x, and I'm going to divide by -7. So my slope for this one is 2 7.
Give me name everybody. Adrian, what's the slope
Of the line that is perpendicular to this one. Okay. Thank you. It's flip and the opposite. So -7/2. Now I have to find mine? No, because negative divided by negative would be positive, and then the opposite of that would be negative again, okay? Do we understand? Why this one's positive? Because it's a negative divided by a negative. Alright, so now I'm going to go to my y equals mx plus b and plug in my point and my slope. Y is negative 4 equals negative 7/2 times my x, which is negative 1 plus b. Negative 4 equals positive 7/2 plus b, right? Because negative times a negative will be positive, and multiplying by 1 is not going to change anything.
Alright, now I gotta say what?
Minus 7/2. I will do that definitely in the calculator.
Everybody doing it? Negative. And then the calculator takes you back to a fraction of an integer. And then give me
And let's give her some thinking time. Let's give her some thinking time. She just got the calculator. Better do it. So that would be negative 4 minus 7/2, right? And you guys have to make sure that that goes inside parentheses in your calculator, right?
Yes.
What do you got? Yeah, but change it to a fraction, so tell me. So change it to a fraction. What is it? I don't want it as a decimal, right? 15 over 2? Negative 15/2? Yay? Alright, so now I got my B. Now I got my M. Oh my god, this is so much work. Now I had to use that formula twice, right? Alright, what's the slope? Negative 7/2. Minus 15/2. Look, ding, 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 ding. And that's how I know that I'm walking in the right way, because the denominators are the same. That's a good hint that you're doing it correctly. Now I'm going to multiply by 2, because I cannot have any of those dangling 2's in there. So that would be 2y equals, distribute, don't forget the negative, negative 7x. And then distribute again, minus 15. And then plus 7x. Yay? So 7x minus 2y equals negative 15. And we're done.
that's a teenage person.
He really doesn't have that many problems in it. Oh, I'm sorry. Thank you, guys. Thank you. 5 plus 2y. Okay? Yay? All right, yeah, glue that paper on page 34 with all the notes that you need to as well. Go ahead and do that while we get ready for our next activity, okay?